What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy. Apparently Microsoft has a new laptop hunters commercial. This one's just as stupid and interesting as usual. I'll go ahead and show the video real quick, and I'll pause it and talk about each little thing.
This is Lauren and Mom. They told us they wanted a laptop with
speed, portability, and battery life.
Speed, portability, and battery life. Portability, it's a laptop. They're all portable. Battery life, we'll get into that in a second. Speed, we'll get into that in a second.
Under $1,700. We told them, you find it, you keep it.
Let's go find a laptop. I'm about to be a law student, and portability is important to me. That is a big computer. We haven't looked at the Mac yet. This Mac is $2,000, and that's before adding anything.
Why would you pay twice the price?
I wouldn't.
Okay, the $2,000 Mac that they're looking at has a bigger screen than what she gets, so apparently the screen size isn't really a big key factor for her. So why did they show the $2,000 Mac instead of the $1,300 Mac, which is well below the price range that they have set?
I love speed. I want it to be fast. I want it to do programs fast.
What is do programs fast? Who wrote that shit?
This one here is a little too small. It doesn't have the specs that I'm looking for. It's pretty lightweight. I like the color of this one. Let's go look at that Dell again. It's portable, great battery life, and also has speed.
You got one left.
Thank you.
Nice work, ladies, and nice PC.
The total at the end was $972. A lot less than my goal of $1,700. Yay!
900 some dollars. Really? That's kind of funny because when I looked this laptop up, with anything that compared to the MacBook, it was $1,400, I think. So to find that in less than $1,000, it didn't have anywhere near these specs. I can promise that. All right, this thing is 2.53 gigahertz, pretty decent, but it's got Vista on it, so it's going to need to be 2.53 gigahertz. And this was for $1,400, like I said, built off the Dell website, their website. So I'm not just making this up. 13-inch screen with 1.3 megapixel camera, which is going to be the same as the MacBook. 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, which I'll give them that. That's pretty good. 500 gigabytes of hard drive space. That's awesome. Not too bad. We'll compare this to the $1,300, $100 less MacBook. 2 gigahertz processor. It's about 530 megahertz slower. 2 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, which is half of what that was. 160 gigabyte hard drive. Okay, for about $150, you can get a 1 terabyte external drive, which is going to more than double what that costs. So for $50 more than the Dell, you could double the hard drive space on a MacBook, and you can match the RAM. Now, battery life was one of the things they talked about. I actually looked up battery life tests from tech websites that did some tests on this laptop. It got up to 3 hours and 20 minutes, but this is on minimum brightness while idling with the internet turned off. Wow, that's amazing. If you don't do anything, it's good for a little over 3 hours. It's good. 2 hours and 55 minutes with minimum brightness while surfing the internet. So about 3 hours with surfing the internet, nothing heavy. Up to 2 hours while watching a DVD. Awesome. You know, you watch half a movie, you can come back and watch the rest of it once it recharges. On full brightness under a heavier load, it's about 1 hour and 10 minutes. It's good enough to boot up Vista and have about 10 minutes of messing around on it. Where the MacBook gets up to 5 hours with the battery. So I don't really get the purpose of this commercial talking about the battery life when the battery life on this computer is not very good at all. And they go way under the price limit, where if you build a Mac to what that price limit was, it's going to be a lot better than this thing. I mean, Vista's garbage. I mean, OS X, you don't need 10 gigabytes of RAM to run it smoothly. Like, you take an old G5 and put Leopard on it, and it's going to run just fine. So the specs on this computer might look more impressive, but with the operating system that it has to run, it's going to need some amazing specs to be able to run it without it being horrible and lagging and all that good stuff that Vista does. So, like I said, for $150 added on to the MacBook, which is still only $50 more than what this would have cost to build it to the specs that I said, you're going to match the RAM and you're going to double the hard drive space. So that really just doesn't matter. And the processor, like I said, yeah, that's a little bit of a difference in the processor speed. But when you compare the two operating systems, you don't need the processing speed to run everything on Leopard. So I really don't get what Microsoft is trying to do. These commercials are stupid. They make no sense. And the only thing I can say is at least they had a cute girl in this commercial. That's about it. But I guarantee the money that they paid her to do this commercial, she went out and bought a MacBook.